Speaking of Houston, they're catching fire. 11-game win streak, like you mentioned before. They're currently 38-35, 11th in the West, one game behind Golden State. And Jalen Green has been going bananas these past 10 games without their number one option, Sengun. How do you pronounce it? Sengun? Sengun?
Shingun.
Shogun, I'm kidding. Sengun.
Not
So he's been
Shogun.
averaging 30 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. And what's honestly caught my eyes is efficiencies went up out of nowhere. You know, someone who shoots, about 42% from the field. He's shooting 50% from the field and 45% from three, man. What do you attribute to, one, the Rockets' 11-game win streak, and two, Jalen Green balling out of his motherfucking mind?
I mean, one, the Rockets put together a pretty decent team. Like, earlier in the season, they were definitely above 500 earlier in the season.
Yeah, for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and then they kind of hit a stretch where I feel like what happened is they actually had a lot of injuries, more than just Şengün. They have a couple injuries with Şengün is out, Cam Whitmore is out, and Tari Eason is out. And I like all three of those players. But what it does is, like, I think the Rockets are one of those teams that has 11, 12 guys that all could be getting rotational minutes on good teams.
Okay.
But I feel like that, for most teams, that ends up being a problem. Because honestly, I feel like it's similar for the Warriors. I know their record is similar. But I think that when you have a lot of these guys who can all play, it's like now it's way more difficult for me to figure out who needs to be playing, the spots they need to be playing in. And then it also can create other things of guys thinking I need to be getting more minutes, or I need to be getting the ball more. And I think that those injuries just really clarified a lot of things. Got guys the ball, like Thompson. Their Thompson twin has been balling since he's been. I think they actually play him either at the small ball 5 or at the 4 with Jabari Smith at the 5 now. It's just opened up things for a lot of the other guys that weren't getting those minutes before, and now that they probably feel more empowered. That's the main thing I feel like with Jalen Green is he just looks so much more confident out there. Like it's insane. It really feels like day and night.
Shout out to Ime too.
Yeah. I mean,
You think
we all know Ime's a great coach.
You think Ime, his style translate better without their big?
Yeah, because he's a defensive coach.
Mm-hmm.
And then you brought in Fred VanVleet and Brooks, who are defensive players. And then Jabari Smith is kind of a defensive player too. And Thompson is definitely a defensive player.
Yeah, I was that too,
Yeah, so I think that he can play probably a lot more to his style now as well. Like, you have way more defense out there. Yeah. And it's not like you're missing any shooting because Şengün wasn't a three-point shooter. Yeah. So, and you have guys, like, you have a point guard. Fred VanVleet can give you he can average 7, 8, 9 assists a game. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you're necessarily missing out. Like, of course you're missing the assist, I guess, that Şengün gave you, but it's not like you don't have anyone to fill that void. Mm-hmm. And even Jalen Green is decent at passing. So I think it's really just to, like, some of these injuries clear things up. It's one of those addition by subtraction. Like, sometimes this is, as a Pistons fan, I remember this, but when we traded away Josh Smith and got better, we didn't bring anything else back in return for him. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that they're necessarily just overall a better team without some of these guys. But in this short period of time, I think that has been the fact. Like, just some of these guys being out opened up minutes for the other people. They're playing better, have more confidence. The style, I think, of play is different. It's way more up-tempo as well. I don't think Şengün he's a lot more of like a half-court set guy. I need to, same like Jokic a lot of time. There's a half-court set, same with Sabonis. You're running a bunch of actions, and I'm trying to get the ball to you versus Jalen Green right now is just coming down the court. He's just coming down the court at niggas. Like, it's just like full head of steam. And that's just like completely different for people to have to play with.
Do you think when he comes back, I think he may come back, you think they can coexist moving forward, or is one of those things where you're going to have to pick between the two moving forward?
I think they can coexist. I think, though, the adjustment has to be made of, like, having the ball in Şengün's hands maybe a little bit less. Bringing his usage rate down maybe a little bit and kind of dispersing it with some of the other people. Mm-hmm. But I think, we were talking about this a little bit beforehand. We'll see how this season goes, but they were already talking about trying to make a big swing this summer and trading one of their 2 stars.
Joel Embiid pull up to Houston. It's not happening,
That would be crazy. But I don't think Embiid's gonna want to go anywhere.
That'd be crazy though. Shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Obviously, we're still holding on to these veterans. The greatness of KD, LeBron, Steph, and whatnot. But it's a clear indication that by the snap of a finger, it's going to be a young man's league. So, do you think it's better for the league to see the Houston Rockets in the plane as opposed to the Warriors or Lakers missing it?
I mean, it'll always be fun to see young teams, but I'm never gonna say I would rather not see Steph Curry or LeBron in the playoffs. Like that's just. I had to come to this realization. Like I feel like I knew this, but like especially this year, Steph is just, and this is me.
Yeah.
Steph is the most fun player to watch play in the league.
For you?
Yeah, for me. As of right now. Like he's just the most exciting, like his three, because other people, not a whole bunch of other people, but some other people can still hit threes from his range and other stuff like that. But like the way he does everything, it's just an experience, bro. It really is an experience, and especially like in the playoffs, like he's just the type of person that you want in there.
Yeah. Most fun for me, just fun for me to watch play is probably Kyrie.
That's real. He be going crazy.
I've seen Steph play live too. It feels like I'm just watching like AAU nigga.
Why?
Just shooter playing without the basketball, going crazy. But I like.
But he's the reason that those AAU niggas are playing like that.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking about when I played AAU when I was a kid and shit like that. So I mean, I've definitely seen a lot of players. Like I know he's better than all of them, but I've definitely seen a lot of players live that I've kind of gravitated towards as opposed to watching Steph live. Is all I'm saying.